Hello and welcome back to Superior Sisterhood, the self-care sessions. I'm Nicole Morey and I'm a women's empowerment coach and the host of these sessions. And today I'm really excited to introduce everyone to Barb Davies. Welcome, Barb.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's my great pleasure. For those of you who don't know Barb, she's a certified clinical hypnotherapist and a registered social worker. And Barb, I would love to get things started if you could just tell everyone a little bit more about yourself and your work.
Sure, thank you. I'm a registered social worker. I've been working I specialized in the vocational rehab field, so I've been working in that field for over 16 years now, doing a lot of counseling and coaching and helping people um, get back to work or retrain for new careers that they're well suited for. A couple of years ago, I got certified as a clinical hypnotherapist. And at first I kind of did it just for personal interest and, thought maybe I could help some family and friends, but there's been so many people interested and there's not very many of us in Thunder Bay. So I've ended up having a very busy side practice and it's just getting a lot busier and I love it. So it's become my passion in life.
Wonderful. And had you always been intrigued by hypnotherapy?
Yes, actually, I learned a lot. I have degrees in psychology and social work, and I learned a little bit about hypnosis in university, but we didn't go into depth into it. But I've always been a big personal development junkie. I've always been studying and learning and interested in the power of the mind and the law of attraction. And when I started to learn more about hypnosis, it all just kind of fit together with everything I've been studying in my personal development world. And I just started to link the missing pieces of the puzzle together. And it's really exciting. And then when I started to see results from just making a couple little tweaks, it was really exciting.
It's a beautiful blend with the social work that you do, like you say.
It
And
is.
I can't wait for the when they read your bio, all the amazing angles that you can support through your work. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
maybe you'll let us, we'll dive deeper into that in a minute. But before we do, I would love to hear about your personal experience with this whole topic of self-care.
Well, yes. Because I'm a social worker, you know, social work tends to be a pretty stressful occupation, high caseload, stressful working conditions. And I've experienced burnout a couple times in my life. I've been doing it for a lot of years. And part of the reason is not just because of my work, but on the side, I've always been taking courses or, doing something on the side. I don't just kind of go to my job and come home and sit and watch TV or anything. I'm always working on something else. So maybe I push myself a little bit too hard. But anyway, I've experienced burnout a couple times, and I ended up using hypnosis to get over that. And it worked a lot faster than anything else. So then I took a course on introduction to hypnosis just to learn about self-hypnosis and to help myself. And then that's what kind of led me down the path. I just became so intrigued and I just became passionate about it and I learned so much and I just thought everybody needs to know this. I need to pursue this further. Like, I don't know why we weren't taught this in school. Like, everybody's life could be so much different and so much happier, and people could be, achieving their goals so much easier if they just knew how their subconscious mind worked and how to, just work with it efficiently, right?
I can so relate, and I'm so excited that now you are sharing that gift. I've felt that way so many times. Why don't we learn this from the beginning? It would
I
make
know.
life so much easier. And so that's brilliant that now, like, not only did you do that for yourself, which is like an amazing feat in life, but now you're sharing it with others.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I help people with all kinds of things. Like, a lot of people come to me for anxiety or stress or sleep issues. I'm certified in Old Pain to Go, which is a method to help with chronic pain. Um, I've helped a lot of people heal after the breakup of a relationship, when a lot of people are really feeling down and stressed and hurt. So hypnosis is great for that. There's kind of the basics, like everybody's heard of the smoking cessation and weight loss. So there's a lot of that as well. I help a lot of entrepreneurs with their mindset and manifesting success and confidence, that type of thing, getting over fears and phobias. Pretty much anything you'd go to see a counselor or a coach for, hypnosis can help with as well. There's over 12,000 peer-reviewed scientific studies showing how efficient and how hypnosis works, and that it's actually a valid first-line intervention with so many different issues. There's medical hypnosis for issues like IBS. I don't know, the list is endless. Really, I could go on for a long time, but it's just hypnosis works for a lot of different things that you wouldn't immediately think of. So
Absolutely. It's that subconscious mind that really is underlying everything that's going on in our lives. So that
it
makes sense.
is.
Absolutely. And so I can't wait to hear now, like when it comes to self-care, what sort of practices are you recommending to your clients, or do you practice yourself that you find are giving you the best results?
I do. I use self-hypnosis or meditation every day. I might miss the odd day if I'm really busy, but actually, the first 5 minutes of your day and the last 5 minutes at night, you're actually naturally in a state of hypnosis. It's just the brainwave state that's associated with hypnosis or imagination. And every morning when you wake up, you go through the different brainwave states from sleep to awake. And the last couple are considered states of hypnosis. And when you go to sleep, the same thing. And also if you're in the shower or something like that, when you're doing something on automatic pilot, you usually slip into an alpha brainwave state, which is considered a state of hypnosis. It's the exact same brainwave states that you would be in if you were meditating. So the first 5 minutes of the day and the last 5 minutes, I definitely utilize that because I'm naturally in a state of hypnosis. So I practice gratitude every day. I use some affirmations. I visualize, how I want my day to go, how I want the next day to go, and focus on my breathing and do some deep breathing and just to calm myself, stress myself, de-stress, and that's how I fall asleep as well. So. And then, if I have some extra time or I've had a particularly stressful day, I'll actually, set aside a half an hour or an hour to do a longer meditation or self-hypnosis session.
Cool. I had never thought of that really about self-hypnosis. And,
Mm-hmm.
you've shared some really great tools that are accessible to all of us because we all have an awareness about what it means to be grateful, what it means to breathe and take a time out. And do you have any other thoughts around, that are easy takeaways that we could try out?
Well, I would utilize the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of your day because you're naturally in a state of hypnosis and everyone has busy lives. They have a hard time setting aside that time for self-care. But when you're laying in bed and you're just drifting off to sleep, or when you first wake up, you have 5 minutes to lie there and just utilize that. And you're naturally in a state of hypnosis. And what that means is your subconscious mind is active and any thoughts you have are going to be more powerful at that time. So that's the time, when you wake up to say, I'm going to have a wonderful day today. Something amazing is going to happen, or visualize how you want your day to go, visualize success. Um, and when you're falling asleep, just list all the things that you're grateful for and really feel that gratitude. And even feel grateful for things that that are on their way to you. Because, when you're feeling grateful for something, your subconscious mind believes that it's already happened. So it makes it all that much more powerful. And your subconscious mind is always trying to bring to you what you're focusing on, and how your subconscious mind decides what you're focusing on is by the pictures you make in your mind. So it's super, super powerful, and that's really easy. Anybody can do it, and it doesn't take a lot of time. So that's I think the biggest tip that I can give that would give you the most kind of bang for your buck when you're short on time. So
Yeah, as so many of us are. And you mentioned that when you do have a longer period of time, that you'll do a longer session with yourself. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
just thinking, if we find ourselves affected in the middle of the day, would you say practice sort of the similar thing that you recommended in the morning and at night, or you recommend different things in the daytime?
During the daytime, what I would recommend is people just focus on their breathing. So what I tell everybody, most people breathe incorrectly. So I tell people to put one hand on their chest and one hand on their belly and
Okay.
take a deep breath and notice which hand goes out more. For 90% of the people, it's the upper hand, which means you're taking really shallow breaths.
Okay.
So I tell everybody, if you're feeling stressed or you're in pain or anything like that, just take even 5 minutes. Longer is better, but just sit or lay there. You can do it anywhere. You can be standing in the line at the grocery store, but take some deep breaths. And I tell my clients to pretend that they have a balloon in their belly. And with every inhale, they're inflating that balloon. And with every exhale, the balloon is deflating. And just to take those really deep belly breaths and just focus on your breathing. And if you have any thoughts, just notice them, but don't follow them. It's kind of a mindfulness technique, really. So you can do that anytime during the day. And, you could even be at your desk at work and just take, a couple minutes to sit and breathe. And it really makes a big difference.
Well, we can't get enough reminders about breathing, because even though, it's a natural thing that keeps us alive, like
For
you
sure.
say, so many of us are breathing shallowly, and it's so simple. You can do it in the lineup. Nobody's going to even know that you're doing it. So that's brilliant. Now I want to get into sort of what's going on at the deeper level around people's self-care issues. I'm curious if you find there's, like, if a person were to go beyond the bigger fit self-care practices, what's your thought about what's going on at that deeper level?
Well, how much time do we have?
I know. So it will be different for every type of client that you support, I'm sure.
Well, at the root of pretty much all challenges that people come to see me with, I find self-esteem, self-love. Maybe some forgiveness work needs to be done, forgiving the self, not necessarily forgiving others. But I think self-esteem is the biggest issue. And what people might not realize is during the first 7 years of life, your conscious mind hasn't really fully developed. So children are basically kind of walking subconscious minds. So they're in this theta state for the first few years of life. And everything they hear, see, or experience just goes right into their subconscious mind. And that's when your personality is developed, your self-esteem, what you think your potential is, your worthiness, everything like that. And unless you actually do the inner work to change that later, you're kind of stuck with what you learned in the first few years of life. And a lot of people, and children don't understand what's going on. Even you could have the best parents in the world. I'm not saying that that people have poor self-esteem had abusive parents or anything like that. But even parents, if the child's running out on the street and they yell at them or something like that, the child could internalize that something's wrong with them, or they just make wrong assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand, and they hear their parents talking, and they have these ideas that aren't really correct, and that affects their whole life. And they hear a lot of kids hear their parents saying money doesn't grow on trees and stuff like that, and then they have money issues and issues about their worthiness, and they don't achieve as much as they could in their career, and that's especially important for entrepreneurs, right? So there's a lot of stuff like that. So when you use hypnosis, you can basically kind of go in and release all that and reprogram it to have some more healthier and positive beliefs about yourself as an adult, right? So.
Cool. Now, personally, I've never received hypnotherapy, so I'm just going to ask a little more about it. Do you find that it's like a process of sessions, or what does it look like when one receives your support?
Well, for most challenges, you need more than one session. Because there's a lot of different layers, right?
Yeah.
And being that self-esteem and self-love is kind of at the root of most challenges, I kind of work on that on all sessions. So, the session would be extremely long if I tried to accomplish everything in one session.
Yes,
so
of course.
Normally 3 sessions minimum is what most people need. If you were coming in for something simple like to get over a fear or a phobia, I can probably help you in one session. But other sessions, you need a series of sessions, usually 3 to 6. So my sessions are usually an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And then I teach a lot of different strategies, some that I've mentioned already and other ones. I teach self-hypnosis. So many of my clients have asked me to teach them self-hypnosis, and I'm creating a course right now. I actually have a group of beta testers going through it, and I'll be launching that in the fall. So that will teach people how to use all these strategies on their own to improve their health, their wealth, their relationships, self-care, teach them mindfulness. Yeah, it'll all be in there. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome. I'm glad that you mentioned it. And I was going to ask if you offer your services online or the in person or both.
Both. I have a private office in Thunder Bay. I also work out of the Body Mind Center a few times a week, and I also do online sessions. So I have clients worldwide.
Beautiful. Well, Barb, I'm asking you questions about my final question for you, which is any final thoughts you want to share, and then tell us more about how folks can connect with you going forward.
Sure. I would just say that, once you learn about hypnosis and how the subconscious mind works, you'll develop a lot more self-awareness, and you'll be mindful of your thoughts, your emotions, your responses, your behaviors, because 95% of everything we do is based on programs that your subconscious mind is running. So it's kind of like, when you first learn to walk or brush your teeth or drive or things like that, when the first few times you're doing it, you're really consciously thinking about every motion that you do. And then after you've done it a few times, you can just do it on automatic pilot. Well, the way we think, the emotions and feelings that we habitually have, our responses and our behaviors, they run on programs the exact same way. So, and that was all learned. So you can learn something different. So you can totally reinvent yourself. Really, you can change who you are. You can just become the person that you've always wanted to be, and it's very easy with hypnosis or self-hypnosis. So my website is just my name, barbdavies.com. And so there's a lot of there. You can connect with me on there. I've got my phone number and my email address, and you can see the services that I offer. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to jump on a call with anybody and just chat and answer their questions before they book a session to see me.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Barb. I'll be sure to share the links to your site.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing all about what you do and sharing your wonderful tips. And on behalf of Barb and I, would just love to thank you for tuning in. And we're encouraging you as you get out there and take really great care of you. Bye for now.
Bye.